the heart-mind balance. A striking commonality among these expressions is their emphasis on heart consciousness over mind knowledge. The Buddha pointed to direct recognition beyond intellectual understanding. Jesus spoke of the kingdom within rather than external observance. Muhammad emphasized surrender to unity rather than accumulation of knowledge. This reflects the framework's fundamental nature. Unity can be recognized through heart consciousness, but never fully grasped by mind observation. These expressions consistently demonstrate how recognition of unity naturally reverses the entropy of separation. Complex systems of belief simplify into direct understanding. Fragmented practices consolidate into unified awareness. Multiple deities resolve into recognition of single consciousness. This pattern of spiritual negentropy flows naturally, like scattered drops of mercury drawing together when brought into proximity. The function of community. The formation of communities serves a vital function in maintaining framework stability. When individuals recognize their fundamental unity, they naturally gather with others who share this recognition. These aren't merely social groupings, but dynamic centers of shared awareness that strengthen connection within the framework. Consider how early spiritual communities formed: Buddhist sanghas, Christian monasteries, Sufi circles. Each began as a natural gathering of people drawn to deeper truth, creating sustained environments where recognition of unity could flourish. Within these spaces, individual insights amplified through collective resonance, making it easier for others to access similar recognition. But communities serve beyond their immediate members. Like ripples spreading from a stone dropped in water, their collective recognition creates regions of enhanced stability within the framework. This stabilizing influence extends into surrounding areas, subtly affecting even those who never directly engage with the community. A village with a thriving spiritual center often experiences greater harmony than one without, even among those who never enter the temple. These effects demonstrate how individual recognition naturally seeks expression through community, and how shared awareness creates stronger patterns of stability than solitary practice alone. Understanding this reveals the essential role of community in maintaining framework coherence through time. Modern implications and the path forward. Contemporary expressions within the framework present a complex tapestry of interconnection and separation. Digital technology simultaneously enables unprecedented global communication while deepening personal isolation. Environmental crisis forces recognition of our dependence on natural systems, even as we continue patterns of separation from them. Scientific understanding reveals fundamental unity at the quantum level, while our daily experience of reality fragments further into virtual spaces and artificial divisions. The paradox of modern connection and scientific understanding. Global digital networks mirror the framework's interconnected nature, yet often serve to reinforce the illusion of separation. Social media creates surface connection, while potentially deepening the mind's tendency toward comparison and division. Virtual communities transcend physical boundaries, while sometimes amplifying psychological isolation. These tools, like all temporal forms, can either reveal or obscure our fundamental unity, depending on how consciousness engages with them. The rise of influencers and digital thought leaders presents a particularly troubling paradox. Unlike traditional prophets and teachers who emerged naturally to restore framework stability, these modern figures often arise from and reinforce patterns of separation. They promise connection and fulfillment through consumption and external validation. This leads temporal experiments further from recognition of our true nature. What appears as unprecedented global connection actually generates new forms of spiritual isolation. Modern physics increasingly points toward the unified nature of reality, revealing interconnection at the fundamental level. Yet this intellectual understanding, while valuable, cannot alone bridge the growing separation from source. The mind's comprehension of unity differs fundamentally from heart's direct recognition of it. Scientific insight serves best when it guides consciousness toward experiential recognition, rather than merely accumulating knowledge about unity. The accelerating ecological crisis reflects back our collective state of separation, while simultaneously demanding recognition of our essential unity with natural systems. This represents not simply a physical challenge, but a spiritual one, a call to recognize how separation from source manifests as separation from nature itself. The response required goes beyond technological solutions to fundamental shifts in how consciousness relates to the whole. Cultural transformation and temporal discord. The rapid transformation of cultural structures creates opportunity for both expanded awareness and deepened confusion. Traditional frameworks dissolve while new forms of understanding emerge. This transition period naturally generates turbulence as consciousness grapples with evolving ways of recognizing and expressing unity. The challenge lies in maintaining connection to source through such fundamental change. As our examples suggest, the growing imbalance we witness stems from disconnection from source consciousness. The path through these challenging times requires not merely new systems or structures, but renewed recognition of our fundamental unity through heart consciousness. This doesn't mean rejecting modern developments, but rather engaging with them from a place of source connection. The framework points towards specific qualities needed for this rebalancing, including direct recognition of unity beneath apparent separation, a shift from mind-dominated to heart-centered engagement with reality, release of attachment to temporal forms while maintaining full participation in temporal experience, recognition that all expressions, whether apparently constructive or destructive, emerge from and return to unified consciousness. Moving through current instability requires neither blind embrace nor wholesale rejection of modern conditions. Instead, consciousness must learn to maintain clear source connection while engaging with rapidly evolving temporal forms. This represents not a return to previous conditions, but an evolution toward new ways of expressing unity through contemporary experience. Integration with single observer and the framework. Examining prophets, teachers, and their modern counterparts through the lens of the framework of possibility reveals how unified consciousness maintains equilibrium through temporal expression. These manifestations demonstrate the natural rebalancing that emerges when separation from source creates instability. Throughout history, consciousness has generated whatever forms of expression best serve framework stability within existing conditions. Prophetic expressions emerged when rapid rebalancing was needed. Teaching traditions developed to maintain sustained connection. The unique case of Jesus demonstrated how unified consciousness can maintain awareness while in temporal form. Modern challenges illuminate this pattern in new ways. The growing separation from source that characterizes our time generates increasing framework instability. Yet this very instability contains the seeds of rebalancing as consciousness naturally moves toward equilibrium. The complexity of current conditions creates both deeper separation and unprecedented opportunity for recognizing unity. The essential insight is that mind consciousness alone cannot resolve separation from source. The mind excels at examining reality, but cannot directly experience unity. This points to why purely intellectual or technological solutions cannot address our fundamental challenges. Only through heart consciousness can temporal experiments recognize their true nature as expressions of unified awareness. Just as pressure systems naturally move toward equilibrium, consciousness naturally inclines toward recognition of unity. The increasing instability we experience represents not a fundamental problem, but a natural phase in the framework's continuous rebalancing. Each temporal experiment faces the same fundamental choice: to experience reality through mind's perception of separation or heart's recognition of unity. The path forward requires not rejecting temporal reality, but experiencing it through heart consciousness, while maintaining awareness of its true nature as expression of unified source. The end. Or is it the beginning?